How was water polo invented? After a particularly heated game of ice hockey. But thankfully for us, the AC was on and we are not talking about water polo. Even though you like to swim and play with floating balls. Today is all about the best ice hockey goaltenders in the world, or maybe the two best goaltenders ever to exist. Carey Price of the Montreal Canadiens versus Andrei Vasilevskiy of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Two goalies that are meeting in the Stanley Cup Finals. This is the matchup that every hockey fan dreams of. It is a true matchup of the best goalies in hockey today, and probably the best teams as well. We are going to talk not just about their incredible skill, but why they are so good at what they do. Get ready for the fitness analysis of Carey Price versus Andrei Vasilevskiy. Ice hockey is extremely demanding on the players. Every single player you see at a high level is definitely a top-class athlete. Water polo players are children compared to ice hockey players. All jokes aside, hockey is extremely demanding. Just the freaking body-to-body play against players is as hard as a football game sometimes. All the high-intensity intermittent skating with rapid changes in velocity is enough to make a normal person pass out. Imagine that. They even have an abnormal cardiovascular capacity to keep up with this. The load on your legs and shoulders is extreme, but all of these players are used to it like it's a normal Tuesday. For people like you and me, we would probably play for 30 seconds and probably be sore for days. Kinda like what happens to me when I play too much foosball. Now that you guys that don't play hockey kind of know how demanding it is, let's get to the players. Let's start with Andrei Vasilevskiy, the amazing goaltender from Tyumen, Russia. The 26-year-old beast that is as tough as nails. This freaking giant is 6'3", but to be real with you, I thought he was at least 6'8". At least. He plays big and he plays incredibly well. Vasi, as most of you know him, was drafted 19 overall by Tampa, and he is already a Stanley Cup champion, and he won the Vezina trophy. He has put up insane numbers, and of course, he has also made some incredibly insane saves. He has been at the top for seemingly a long time, but he is
still in his mid-20s.
Mid-20s, guys, and he already has achieved so damn much. When it comes to the NHL, aka Big Cat has done it all.
He's freaking 26.
He must be part of the Illuminati. He seems to have all the secrets to success. Let's talk about Carey Price, and let's see the price tag. Get it? Okay, come on, it wasn't that bad. At least he's not on sale. Carey Price, Canada's chosen one. The 33-year-old, 6'3" giant has won World Junior Gold. He was the CHL Goalie of the Year and the WHL Goalie of the Year. He also won a gold medal at the Olympics and a gold medal at the World Cup, both of which he freaking dominated. In 1 year, he won a Ted Lindsay, a Jennings, a Vezina, and a Hart Trophy. The dude has won everything there is to win, except a Stanley Cup. The man deserves a Stanley Cup. Not to mention the Canadian team has not won, as you guys all know, since 1993, when Patrick Roy won with the Canadiens. Both players were pretty neck and neck on this year's playoff statistics, but the real matchup is the Stanley Cup Final. And unfortunately for Carey Price, it doesn't seem like he will be able to accomplish his dreams this year because Tampa Bay Lightning have won the first 3 games of the Stanley Cup Final. Not Carey's fault, because he played some incredible games, and he was worked far harder than Vasi was these 3 games. Hopefully, the Montreal Canadiens make a comeback and give us a great show because their goalie already has. Now that you know the players, let's talk about how they maximize their performance and minimize the risk of injury. How the hell they do that, you may ask? Well, training. It is the best and the most important thing an athlete can do to minimize the risk of injury, maximize performance, but it is also an opportunity to be coached and improve. In hockey, goalies are the perfect example of athleticism and intelligence, but you can always get better, and that is what tearing and fitness come into play. Goaltenders need to know offensive and defensive strategies, as well as their own position. Then, they need to have the skill to turn that knowledge into a physical response, all while having a fraction of a second to react. Quite easy, if you're the freaking Flash. For a human is way harder. Thankfully, these two goalies are kind of out of this world. Intelligence is developed through quality game experiences and exceptional goaltending coaches. You can watch some of Carey Price's training drills on YouTube. I bet you will be amazed at how smooth and effective he is. Vasi, on the other hand, is way more explosive and way more aggressive as well. Watching game film and training daily helps a lot to perfect the specific skill sets needed to play at a high level, and athletic performance can be worked on while skating as well. Unfortunately, performance can be hindered if your body is unable to move according to the specific demands of the position. Off-ice training is a crucial aspect of success and should be a focus all year long. They are both extremely strong and flexible. You can see them defending with their legs while doing a split. I know I would be crying my eyes out doing that. Thankfully, I am not a hockey goaltender, although that would be really freaking cool. Although they are top-level players, they make mistakes, and they use training to minimize those mistakes. When training off ice, there are 3 key components to maximizing performance. First, you must understand how a goalie moves. Thankfully, a Stanley Cup final goalie knows how that works. Then you must learn how your body moves. They sure know that as well. Finally, you must learn how to train your body to move as a goalie should. And this is the compilation of things both of them need to understand and train every week. Their body must be super in sync with their mind. Although Price is way smoother and sometimes more precise, Vasilevskiy is more effective, sometimes because he is more explosive, which allows him to make faster movements, which helps a lot when you have a literal split second to make a save. What do you guys think about this? You think I'm right? Comment down below what you think. But wait, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button while you're at it. Angle, square, and depth are the 3 other superior important components for a goaltender. Rotation or pivot is super important to get yourself in the best position to make a save. As you may think, this comes with practice and game experience. Let me enlighten you on some of these terms. I know some of you water polo players don't get it. If the puck had imaginary lines going straight out to each post, angle would refer to having your body in the center of those lines. Being square refers to having your shoulders, hips, and toes facing the puck. Depth is simply how close or far away you are from the puck in relation to the net. You see, hockey is a superior intelligence-based game, because just 3 variables can literally change the outcome of a match. And where there are variables, the best and smartest people can always find a little advantage. And no matter how small that advantage might be, it really matters in a Stanley Cup final. From an intelligence perspective, I really think Carey Price has gotten the edge on Andrei Vasilevskiy. The positioning he has is just outstanding, and even when it's a random play, he has perfect positioning and movement to adjust himself. The big cat, on the other hand, is a freaking beast, and even without as good of a positioning, he fights tooth and nail to keep the puck out. He fights almost as hard as I do when the McDonald's worker doesn't get my order right. Oh boy, you've never seen what the real big cat looks like. The goaltender has more drills than you might think, from the basic T-push to the coolest goalie move, the butterfly. Basically, you drop both knees to make a save using your pads. When done correctly, the butterfly involves hip internal rotation, hip adduction, and hip extension. In one single second, they move their hips more than I move mine in a single month. This incredibly demanding task is performed countless times in training, but the worst part is, that goalie might need to do it more than 30 times in a single game. Imagine that! I wouldn't leave my bed for the next week. But wait, there's more! The recovery out of the butterfly involves hip external rotation, hip flexion, and hip abduction. It, more importantly, involves spinal rotation. The power a goalie generates, much like a golfer, comes from the rotation of the hips around the spine. This is something that, again, I think Price is better at. But that's why we're comparing the two, right? You wouldn't want to compare Vasi with me. You guys know that would be a fair fight. For him. All jokes aside, there is so much more these athletes do, mostly behind closed doors in the gym, and that is where Andrei Vasilevskiy may get the edge. They might not seem like beasts like The Rock, or like me, but they are both extremely endurance-oriented. They use some techniques to help them with their off-ice training program. They first need to access which muscles are being overused and which are being underused. When they do that with their coaches and personal trainers, they move to step 1, inhibit the overreactive muscles to aid in the lengthening process. Step 2, it is basically hardcore stretching, nothing like what you do at the gym so your personal trainer doesn't yell at you. Thankfully, I don't go to the gym. Step 3, strengthening the underreactive muscles, focusing on the muscles contracting through the full range of motion. Basically, they rein their toenails. They don't get as much action as the hips in hockey. And finally, step 4. Now that the tighter muscles are lengthened and the weaker muscles are activated, they can finally train the whole body. With caution, of course, but as Vasi is way younger than Price, he has a huge advantage. It doesn't seem like much, but age is a big factor in high-level sports. Look at me. When I was 11, I could destroy anyone in one-handed foosball. Now, not so much. All jokes aside, age is really a determining factor in sports, and Price is not getting any younger, and Vasi is an absolute beast. And unfortunately for the Canadiens, I don't think the Big Cat will let any more pucks pass by. I hope I'm wrong, and we get to see more of both. But to finally answer your question, who's freaking better? Well, in my opinion, Andrei Vasilevskiy. And what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. But don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Otherwise, the Big Cat might come after you. Thank you so much for watching. See ya!